Good evening, everybody. Welcome into another Indie Comics Talks with Jonathan Hedrick, our guest tonight. Caroline will be with us in a little bit to join in the discussion. But Jonathan is the writer of so many series now. Ones that we got coming up, though, Caffeinated Hearts coming from Source Point Press, Hyperware from Source Point Press, Dream Master from Black Box Comics, and then over on Kickstarter right now we've got Capable, awesome superhero series for people with disabilities, which is fantastic. So thank you for being here tonight.
Yeah, thanks for having me back on. I appreciate it. It's been a while, but yeah.
Yeah. I think it was end of last summer. I think we were talking about Quicksand.
Yeah, it was probably Quicksand. Yeah.
I'm trying to remember. It's been, maybe we were just talking about Recount or something.
Maybe.
I don't know. Jessica's in the chat.
Yeah, my number one fan right there.
Hiding around the corner.
Right, yeah, creeping.
You've got a cat guest with you tonight.
Yeah, Tessa, if she hears me talking, she wants to join in too. So the trick is to get her to not unplug my headphones while I'm on.
It's gonna be good in the chat tonight.
Yeah, I hope so.
So for those that may not know who you are, give a little bit about yourself, and then we'll talk about each of these awesome comics you got coming up.
Yeah, so my name is Jonathan Hedrick. I'm a independent comic book writer. Been writing comic books for a few years now. I live over in Melbourne, Florida, near the Space Coast. And first started off, I got my feet wet a few years ago with a small indie comic book called Freakshow Princess, and self-published that one. And it just kind of took off from there. Once I learned the process of self-publishing and knowing that I could get something from, my head to paper to a comic book format, I was kind of hooked on it. And I had all these other ideas. So shortly after that, I did Capable 1, and that followed with Recount number 1. And then a few months later, Scout picked it up, and things just really escalated from there. So I've been really fortunate to, get where I've been in such a short amount of time in this industry. And I'm just really appreciative of everyone who has supported me. And you've been such a big supporter too. I mean, I remember when we met, it was January or February last year at Pensacon.
I think was it in, I don't even remember what month it was anymore.
Yeah, it was definitely 2021.
Maybe it was May?
Maybe.
I don't even know. Somewhere springish.
Yeah. So yeah, I've had a lot of support. Kind of can't do this alone. Yeah, so and here I am. Yeah, I got multiple comics available for pre-order right now and a Kickstarter. So yeah, it's good stuff.
Yeah. So let's talk about Capable first, because that's over on Kickstarter right now. And I guess that also, I don't know, Caffeinated Hearts makes it first alphabetically, but I was like, maybe we're going alphabetical, but I think this is just such a cool series. I've read through issue 4 from the last Kickstarter, and then there was that little extra story.
Harry's Day.
Yeah. So, I mean, the tagline kind of what if people with disabilities gained powers opposite of their impairment intrigues me. I guess one thing. There's a character that has glasses that gets powers in there, and I think maybe we've talked about it. Maybe it was Capable number 3 or 4 that when we had you on before, because Caroline and I were like, well, what about the those with diabetes? What would their superpower be?
Yeah.
But yeah, so the whole idea is super super cool to me, and I think representation in comics in that sense is also awesome to see.
Yeah, thank you for that, because it is a touchy subject when dealing with something as sensitive as disabilities. So I've went into it, and I stick with this policy of not pandering to the people with disabilities community. And I also check myself by my editor is someone that identifies as someone in that community. So through her eyes and her looking at the script, and not just checking for grammar, punctuation, continuity, things like that. She's also making sure I'm not doing anything inaccurate, offensive, inappropriate in that area. But we'll keep in mind that's her opinion too. She's not the president of everyone with a disability either. So I'm thankful that it's I've had people in that community thank me and tell me that they like the comic. The biggest win is people telling me that they appreciate that it's not Disney. It's not like Disney safe. There's things out there that represent that community, but more often than not, it's handled with kid gloves.
Right.
But this one off the bat, there's vulgarity, there's action. I put on the cover of every issue. It's for mature readers. I've had people pick up the book at my tables when I do a signing. Oh, this is great. I have a niece or a nephew that's disabled. I'm like, I tell them, well, how old are they? And when they tell me they're 7, I'm like, well, this probably isn't the book for them. So I love Capable. It's been a lot of fun to write, and I'm very fortunate that issue 5 is on Kickstarter right now. You don't see a lot of you see a lot of number 1s on Kickstarter, and then you don't see them ever again. Sometimes you don't even get your rewards for that number 1. But really exciting. Yeah. It's going to be a 7-issue series altogether. So I completed. I finished writing all 7 issues. Okay. So, and it takes it goes down a different path than I think people weren't expecting from the beginning.
Looks like we're headed to some danger just based on the cover alone in this issue.
Yeah, things never stop for Derek. His life does not get easier with these superpowers.
Yeah, I mean we've already seen some pretty
trauma.
Traumatizing, scary situations happen to him, and like you said, it goes to places that like Disney would be afraid to go to when talking about this type of situation.
Yeah,
but that's what I love about indie comics is that you can go to those places. You can provide a more maybe realistic perspective and not like the kid-friendly perspective on it.
Right. That's the best part about self-publishing is there's no one to tell me to change it.
Yeah. I mean, you got your editor that's saying it looks good. It's fallen. It's safe. It's you're not offending people blatantly by on not knowing what you're saying there or something.
Exactly.
That's the beauty of the indie comics, and we'll talk about some of the other ones that I think like Caffeinated Hearts you did through Kickstarter originally. And so that's pretty cool to see it coming from Source Point Press.
Yeah, very cool.
But I did drop the link. One, it's down below to the Kickstarter. Awesome. And then 2, I dropped it in the chat for those that are watching live. If you haven't gone over and checked out Capable yet, go click on that, bring up the page, back it. And that's the other thing I feel like is really cool about Kickstarters is you can back for as little or as much as you want.
Yeah. You can support with just $1, that's the greatest thing about it. You can support by just sharing the post for free,
Right.
That goes a long way. I don't think people realize how much, how great a share on Facebook, a retweet, a share to an Instagram story goes. It goes a long way. So
every time I see like the Kickstarter writer or artist that I follow and is posting their project on like Twitter, it's easy. Click retweet, get it out there to more people. Instagram, sometimes I feel like it's harder because I don't feel like anybody even looks at stories.
Yeah.
But maybe that's just my page. It's like 3,000 followers and 30 views in the story.
Right. Yeah.
I'm like, what?
I know what you mean.
Makes no sense.
Yeah.
What's up, Firehawk? But yeah, for catching up on a whole series, $12 digitally, like that's awesome pricing. But I do highly recommend people, if they can afford it, pick up like the full print versions, because is there, before I say that, there is a tier. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. $30, all 5 of them, free US shipping.
Yeah. And that's the other thing that I found on some Kickstarters is that when you back it, it's like no shipping, whatever, and then you get hit with like a $10 shipping charge later on stuff. But that's never been the case for yours, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I've been trying, and I know it's difficult too for international backers, but I have to charge a flat rate because I don't know what country it could be coming from. So what I do for my international backers, if they when I go to pay for the shipping, and if it's cheaper than the $25, I reimburse them for the difference. So if it's $22, I refund them $3. If it winds up being more than 25, I eat the cost of that. So
that's appreciated on the side of someone who backs a lot of things, not an international backer, but I could see that if there are someone out there who's doing that a lot.
Yeah. I mean, it means a lot to me that someone in another country wants my comic book, and for them to have to pay that price, it to me, it's only fair. And something I want to do again, but what I did with Caffeinated Hearts is I had a exclusive cover only for international backers. So you had to be an international backer. You didn't pay extra for it. It was built into the cost. It didn't cost me more shipment to send them an extra cover anyway. So I thought that was really cool that, international backers, people ask me, John, how much can I pay for that international cover? I'm like, you need to find a friend in Canada to back the campaign, and then you buy it from them.
It was a pretty cool cover too. The coffee cup stain kind of
the shape of a heart. Yeah,
I like that.
And what's great about that too is it's super limited. I only printed 25 of those, so it only went to other countries. There only 25 are printed. So that something
if you hunt one down.
Yep,
got a limited thing there.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about the rest of the team here that you got with you.
Yeah, so Gino Casmianto is the penciler and inker of the series. He's been with me since day one. He's fantastic. He's over in Indonesia. He's worked on a couple other books. I have some of them in the credits, maybe in his bio, but he stays busy over there, and he's a traditional artist, and and I love him to death. It was sad getting that last page of Capable from him. I'm gonna have to find something else for him and I to work on soon.
Find a new project together. Yeah, exactly. I mean, look at this is his art up here. It's awesome.
Yeah, he's stellar. He's very in his style fit Capable. Exactly what I was looking for. I wanted that like Teen Titans-esque, early X-Men style feel to it.
That hits pretty well. Yeah, someone excited for Caffeinated Hearts to release through previews.
Nice. Yep. FOC is October 3rd.
October 3rd. Mm-hmm. It's gonna be here before we know it.
Yeah, tell me about it. Then we got Perea as a colorist. He's a busy colorist in the industry. He gets hired a lot. He's done a ton of things. You can see he's worked over at Dynamite and a few other companies.
Yeah.
And then there's Jerome. Jerome is everywhere. He's always on Kickstarter. Every project He's never. There's never a project on Kickstarter that he isn't on. So
right, he is the Kickstarter letterer out there,
yes,
and maybe it's because I back a lot of your stuff and Travis's stuff, but he's often the letterer.
Right.
He has something coming up from Red 5 Comics, I think, too.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Jerome stays busy, and I'm glad that he makes time to work with me on Capable. Now, this is our exclusive cover. I do an exclusive cover for every Kickstarter campaign. Yep, that's the Dominic Perozzi exclusive cover for issue 4, and yeah, cool little foil one on that one. And I don't print these ever again. So I'll reprint the main cover, but not the Kickstarter exclusive. So this one was done by Oshred, who is an amazing artist who was a student of Art Germs. So she did an exclusive cover for Recount Preamble earlier in the year. And I was just so honored that, and that cover was so cool. I asked her if she would do one for Capable, and this is what I got, and it's stunning. You know, that's our main bad guy right there, and she has this cool muted blue and red effect that she uses on all her covers, and it just fit this character perfectly.
Yeah, I love the glow right there.
Yeah,
fantastic. But yeah, everyone, let me drop the link again in case anybody wasn't in the chat earlier when I dropped that, but it's also down below. So go check out Capable, because I mean, I'm sure this is going to get picked up at some point because it's an awesome, awesome book.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
And I know sometimes people like to, the comic collecting hobby is both filled with readers and speculators, collectors. So get those exclusive covers while you can over on Kickstarter, and when it pops up on a publisher, you can say, I was there.
Yeah,
there before.
Yeah, I mean, those people that back the Kickstarter for a book that winds up getting published down the road, they helped that book get published in a way too.
Yeah,
so
yeah, I think I think when I was back home, back visiting family in the Clearwater area, I found the Perozzi variants at where was it?
Emerald City Comics.
Emerald City Comics, yeah. I was like, hey, I know this, and I think it was it might have been Freakshow Princess that they had there too. I was like, awesome. I didn't get to pick those up back.
Right.
I didn't even know about you back when Freakshow Princess was coming out.
That store's great. They've been supporting me from day one too. They let me keep things on consignment over there, and they're on the other side of the state. So whenever I have something new, I send them things that way. I can get hit people up on the opposite side. Speaking of good supporters, David's also been a long time supporter. Appreciate him.
Yeah, can't wait for the campaign to wrap up, get backed, and everything, and then you get to work on again.
And then all the fulfillment. Yeah. Boxes everywhere, tape on everything, living in chaos for 2 to 3 weeks.
You got, I think currently there's 103 backers, so lots of support behind this one, which is awesome to see. But yeah, let's talk about some of the other ones. Let's talk about the banner in the room here. Caffeinated Hearts.
Caffeinated Hearts. So yeah, that one we kickstarted earlier in the year. Actually, we launched it on Valentine's Day to go with the whole hearts and slice of life, romantic side of Caffeinated Hearts. This was Stefano Cardicelli and I's third project together. We did Freak Show Night, and we did Space Cadet, and now Caffeinated Hearts. He came to me after Space Cadet and said, hey, what do you want to do next? And, we already did a zombie book. We did this all ages, a fairy tale book. I'm like, we have to do another genre. And I hadn't done slice of life or romance yet. And I'm always expecting him to say no to me. every time I'd say anything that's outside of horror, because the guy's so talented. He's known for his heavy metal stuff. He's won a Bram Stoker award, or maybe 2 of them. I know he's run up. Yeah. The guy's he likes to draw big guns and things like that. I was shocked when he was super down for Space Cadet. So then, Caffeinated Hearts. Well, I think also I sold him on the coffee part, because him and I are both, coffee addicts. And if you look at anything that he does in all his posts on Instagram, he has a hashtag Ultra Coffee. That's his thing. That's his brand. Ultra Coffee.
Interesting. I don't think I've ever caught that, but
read
the hashtags.
Yeah, that's his thing. Ultra Coffee. So I sold him on the coffee idea, and he said he was down as long as it got to be taking place in a cyberpunk world. And I said, yeah, absolutely.
Why not?
It's just this cool, takes place in one day at a coffee shop. It's 4 different stories that the barista at that coffee shop that you see on the cover and the banner, her name's Elle. And she is the common thread between these 4 stories within the one issue. So it's a lot of fun. I think people will really dig it. Yes, I will your coffee stain your coffee. That's a hell of a remark right there.
Right? Will that still get a CGC 9.8?
Who knows with these grading companies nowadays? Don't give it. I can go down a path with that real quick, man.
And I mean, will you be Jonathan Hedrick or Hendrick or Hickman?
Yeah.
Or that seeing your grading results is always, I mean, from the outside perspective, a little funny.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, what new mistake can they come up with for you? But I also feel that that's just such a pain.
It really is. Especially when, some of these slabs I do, I'm going to keep for my own collection. Others I'm doing so I can resell and survive, and keep the lights on in our home. And when it takes 6 months for them to get it back to me, and it's wrong, and it takes another 6 months, that's time I can't resell that to someone who really wants it. So.
And it could have been brought to a con, and then you miss out on those sales.
Exactly.
Yeah. Just want to show a brief shot of some of the interior art. Just want. Because it's just that cyberpunk kind of setting that you're talking about is so well done by him.
And that's all that's pencils, inks, and watercolors. There's nothing digital about that. So
it's phenomenal.
Every page is a masterpiece on that.
Oh man! All right, I'm gonna put that back in the thing later. Set it right behind me, standing up. Which is another thing is I can stand this up. Good quality printing.
Oh yeah, Comics Wellspring is my main printer that I use. There's only one time I didn't use them, and I regretted it, and I used them ever since. So that's my printer.
They've been putting out great things. I look because I think they do some sort of deal, they put an ad that you get
if you put an ad in your Kickstarter, then you get a discount on the printing. So
which is awesome because one, now other people can find a good quality printer, but two, saves you on the production costs to help get the book out to people.
Right. And when I can anticipate that discount, that trickles down into the Kickstarter rewards too. If I can if I know I'm going to save 15%, I count on that on my goal, so that it's not 15% more that goes in my pocket. That's 15% less that my funding goal is going to be. Making it easier for us to reach that goal and get you your rewards. So,
just awesome. No spoilers. I just wanted to show how that interior artwork looked because, we see Stefano's covers pop up here and there, and they're fantastic. But sometimes people haven't gotten to see what his interiors look like, and that's awesome. Absolutely. So what's the next project you guys are working on together? Because maybe a mystery. You haven't done a mystery yet.
I want to call it a mystery. Yeah, we do have something in the works. This one's going back to the more violent side of things. I wouldn't necessarily call it horror, but it's I wrote the first few pages of it. We're going to get some of it done so we can either pitch or kickstart it, and then figure things out from there. But it's good. This one's going to be graphic for sure. We're going that route. We're going dark.
Which is awesome for his artwork. What was it, Iron Knight that came from Second Sight?
Oh man, yeah, that one's killer.
Oof. Graphic, but also beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic.
He does gorgeous work. Anytime I get a chance to work with him, it's an honor. So
I think I know who he's referring to here. Any thoughts on a book together?
Francesca has a script I wrote for first. Okay. It's already the books it's already been written, so it's a matter of her finding time between doing her paid work, because talking about keeping the lights on, paying rent and food. We like to eat, to survive. So
fair.
She has the script, but I hope one day it can get done. But it will. It's just a matter of time. It's not easy.
Her artwork is beautiful. Like the stick art is fantastic. So seeing her writing and your storytelling, I think is going to be a great combo.
I think so too. I'm looking forward to it.
Soon. So yeah, let's shift over to the next book we have to talk about, because there's so many of them. There's probably more that I'm forgetting and don't know about maybe. But Hyperware coming from Source Point Press.
1 week apart. Yeah, it's Hyperware on October 19th, and then Caffeinated Hearts on October 26th. So Hyperware is a one-shot, 24-page one-shot. It's a sci-fi thriller, and it's essentially elevator pitch. I don't want to give too much away since it's 24 pages, but these 3 astronauts are stranded in deep space after their ship took a lot of damage, and now only 2 of them can go into hypersleep for the journey back home. So the dilemma is who draws the short straw and has to stay awake, and staying awake would be, inevitable death because of how long it takes. So it'd be a lonely ride home and you wouldn't make it there. So this was a really cool project that I wasn't expecting. The artist, Deborah Lanchinese, who I also work with on Quicksand, she reached out to me in December of last year and said that she wanted to enter this contest in Italy. She's Italian, like every artist I work with, and the artist I married, they're all Italian. So there's this comic book contest in Italy that's online, and she wanted to enter it so she could win the drawing tablet. She just needed a script, and she said, "You give me a script, Jonathan. I'll handle everything else. You don't have to pay for anything." And that's a rare opportunity to get a full comic book drawn, colored, lettered, and then she gave me permission to do whatever I wanted with it afterwards. So I asked her for a couple of weeks to get the script together. I already had the idea in my head. It was just one of those things, just waiting for the time or the reason to do it. And so I gave her the script, and then in 30 days, she penciled, inked, colored, and lettered it herself.
Wow.
Yeah. So it literally, there's only 2 people on this book, me and Deborah, and she did 80% of the work, if not more.
That's awesome.
And then she won that contest. We won in the pro category. She got that drawing tablet, and I was like, well, I was didn't have like in my schedule to kickstart it. So I just submitted it to SourcePoint Press, and they said yes, which was great.
Yeah, this was one of those ones that was like, I knew when I saw the Caffeinated Hearts, I was like, awesome. And then I was like, wait, where'd this one come from?
Yeah, right.
That was cool that you guys were able to put out 2 in the same previews catalog from SourcePoint Press.
Yeah. I mean, that's really cool of SourcePoint to fit it in their schedule like that, you know. So, yeah, I couldn't be more thrilled. And I think this one is a really cool story. It's got a cool twist to it.
A good twist.
Yeah, and I can't confirm or deny that there might be some exclusive covers for it at a con coming up soon that will be ahead of that release date. So that's all I can say about it.
With an N. And then have a Y and a C and another C.
The letters are definitely between B and Y in the alphabet. That narrows it down.
Not A, not C, not Z. Okay. So it's not the Arizona Comic Con.
Right. No.
All right. And now in the book that just released like a week ago, or a little over a week ago from Diamond, we have
Dream
the
Master.
final current project that we know about.
Right.
Dream Master, coming from Black Box Comics.
Yes. Super excited about Dream Master. So this is going to be an ongoing series, but it's going to be told in 5-issue arcs, like most of Black Box's titles. Awesome artwork from Luigi Baricelli, and guess where he's from?
Italy.
Yes.
So you only work with people from Italy, is what I hear.
Well, the great thing about Black Box is I was hired to work for them. So this isn't my intellectual property. It's not my creation. They approached me back in 2021. Talked to me about what genres I like to write, what are my strengths, and then a few months went by, radio silence, and then they said, okay, here's a page and a half breakdown of what we would like for this series, and you get to flesh the rest of it out. And I said, deal. And Dream Master was that project, and it's a really cool concept. Elevator pitch would be, what if Freddy Krueger was the good guy, and he's in your dreams trying to save you from your nightmares. So that's who the Dream Master is. He's in the dream world, protecting dreamers, and they wake up and they don't even know that they were in any danger, and that's like his curse. So that cover that we're looking at is the main cover, which is a wraparound.
Yeah.
That Luigi, the interior artist, did. And he's going to do wraparound covers for all 5 of this first arc.
Okay.
And it's insane. I love this cover too, by Diego da Silva.
Yeah.
That one's awesome. Yeah.
That one, that catches your attention. This one is, where'd it go? Beautiful. And I love that it's wraparound.
Yeah. And again, all 5 of the main covers will be wraparounds.
Yeah. But that just I don't know, something about the way he's pointing just pulls you in.
Yeah.
And then there's a cover C as well.
Yeah, and that's one's from LTAB. Yeah, that's a cool one too.
Yeah.
And there's going to be, we're going to sneak some more covers in for you on these too. Just give it some time. It comes out November 30th, so we still a few months away, but there's going to be some surprises with this one.
Very nice. There's a question I think about, did Bueller get you with the Black Box Comics, or?
Yeah, so Travis Noakes, I believe that's how you pronounce his last name, from Comics with Bueller. He's good friends with the Black Box people, or Demetrius over at Black Box. And uh, Travis hooked me up, man. He said, you got to get this guy, Jonathan, on one of your books. Travis was a big fan of Recount, is a big fan of Recount. And he bugged them to death until they gave me a book. So I am super grateful for him
That's awesome.
for plugging that in, you know. Dream Master, I'm going to be writing that one for a while until they tell me to stop turning in scripts. I gave them issue 8 a few weeks ago. I'm about to start issue 9. And there's talks about a second title with Black Box. So
nice.
Yeah, they treat me good. I love the way they market. I love their other titles, you know, Devil's Dominion, Jin Hunter. They got the current one out right now, Ninja Kaiden. You know, none of their titles are the same. It's different genres, like mashup of genres too. So
yeah, I mean, we got supernatural plus science in Ninja Kaiden, like super awesome.
Right. It's like Iron Man fighting ghosts.
Yeah. A little bit of Doctor Strange, I guess, maybe in there. Spectral or astral form or something.
Right. A lot of fun at Black Box. So
yeah, definitely let your shops know. It's in Preview's catalog right now. So when they put their orders in for the initial order, gotta let them know so that they can pick this up. And I think Black Box isn't on final order cutoff either.
Yeah.
So, because I was late to adding Ninja Kaiden to my list, and so I'm still like, I haven't gotten issue 2 yet because my shop put the order in. They're gonna get it eventually, but it didn't go through with their initial order. So make sure you tell them before the end of this month so they can get their orders in on this.
Yeah, and grab those covers too, man. They're a lot of fun.
So with kind of the, like you said, they hired you to do this. It's their property. Does it tie into any of their other properties, or is this kind of, they were like, we want to do this idea and we want you to create it?
Yeah. So far, it doesn't tie into anything yet. I don't want to rule that out. But you know, I'd love for it to, you know, some you know, crossover with their other books. There's some that it would definitely fit with. But you know, it needs to get its own, you know, respect first before we start meddling around with other people's stuff. You know, Brian Hawkins, a good friend of mine, he wrote Devil's Dominion, and I think that would be cool to you know, pair up with him and do something together down the road.
Speaking of him,
yeah,
he's gonna be on next week.
Actually. Oh, great! Yeah, you gotta tell him I said hi. That guy, you have to tell him I promoted him.
We'll do. Right. Like watch at about 39 minutes in, you'll see the little plug for you.
Well, it's funny. Brian and I kind of have this unsaid challenge of who can back each other's Kickstarters first. You know, like sometimes I'm the first one or the second one when he launches one, and same thing with me. It's like, well, usually within the first like 3 people, we're one of the others that are backing each other, and we've done this for a couple of years now. So you got to support each other, man. You know, this is it doesn't have to be a cutthroat industry. You know, if we just all work together.
Right. And I mean, that's what I feel like a lot of, at least the indie creators I follow and talk to, do a lot of promoting of each other.
Yeah.
We all know people have limited budgets on buying comics, but if you buy smart, you can support lots of different creators out there. I buy too many comics, but I I make sure that I support, especially the creators that I really already, one, have talked to before and know I love their work, but 2, just any of the ones that I'm like, yep, you're doing great things out there. So
Yeah, thank you. And there's worse things you could spend your money on. You know, this is a harmless hobby for the most part. You know,
Yeah.
as long as you're not beating anyone to death with those comics.
Right, or getting, I guess the danger would be a bunch of short boxes fall on you and
Right, yeah, exactly.
It's the harmless drug version, right?
Right.
Good thing to be addicted to. Yeah, and then that's the other thing. Yeah.
Yes.
He also supports a lot of Kickstarters, either by backing or shouting them out.
Oh yeah.
He's great. But yeah, it does take up a lot of room.
That it does. Yeah, I spent Labor Day reorganizing my own collection, getting things back into boxes, making sure they all had the even amount in each box, because you know how sometimes one short box will be like too tight and you'll have 150, then this one only has 80 and you have to
my room's a complete mess right now. I'm trying to sell comics to make room for more comics.
Right. Well, isn't that great when your hobby can pay for itself?
Yeah. I just did a sale and just got a good chunk towards what I want to buy next. That's another comic, and I'm like, perfect.
Yeah.
Like, shoot, I mean, I picked this up recently.
Yes, I saw you post about that. Yeah. So yeah, if you can purge some of your other things that you read and then you buy a key book or like a milestone issue, why not? Absolutely. Oh, and we were just about to wrap things up too.
Finally
all right,
made it.
Thanks guys for having me on.
All right, see ya. No.
The worst timing, but they called right before and they were like, "Hey, bring your cat," and I was like, "Okay." Hello.
She's back.
Welcome.
I'm here. I've made it.
We were just let's see, where were we? We were on Dream Master, wrapping up talking about that. What's coming next?
Ooh, more
that
Quicksand.
You can talk about.
More, Quicksand is in the works. All 5 issues are completed except for the colors on issue 5. So we'll see more Quicksand next year. Probably won't have time to kickstart those last 4 and 5, but I guarantee you'll get the rest of Quicksand next year. So that's why I did the issue 0 through my website earlier in the year, because there wasn't going to be time to kickstart it. It was just a quick 8 pages. I put it out there on my website. It was also a way to promote my website too and get more traffic there. But yeah, definitely will be more Quicksand.
I think, I don't know if last time you were on, if Caroline was at the comic shop yet or not, but she should be.
He's got to be. Yeah, he's got to.
So it was last summer you started.
No, I'm like, it hasn't been that long, has it?
It's
almost a year.
It's
like a year at the end of the month.
Yeah. Yeah. So Caroline gets to tell her shop now to go get all of these.
Yes.
But yeah, just kind of come back through everything. I'll share the screen again, but Capable over on Kickstarter right now.
Hell yeah.
I'm going to drop that link in the chat again for anybody who hasn't gotten to navigate over there yet.
Such a good series.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, like
so wholesome, but like not shitty. Like not like wholesome where you're like, oh, you're trying too hard. It's just like, this is good. I like this. This is some quality content.
Yeah,
I appreciate it. It's a fun comic book to write. It's superheroes have been done to death, but it's not superheroes with capes or with secret identities, and it's not the jaded superheroes that you see on The Boys, which is great, but I think we're seeing the opposite side of superheroes a lot too lately. So
yeah, there's a good number of series that kind of try to go that direction.
Yeah.
But like you said, I mean, it's for mature readers, but it's still got some of that wholesomeness to it in a good way.
Yeah, I try to channel how I felt when I was in high school. This is the main characters in high school. It wasn't easy for me in those years, and I think At first, I thought superpowers would make things better, but it really hinders Derek's life more than he thought. So,
if TV's taught me anything, that superpowers are not so super.
No.
Yeah. And two from Source Point Press we got coming up, Hyperware.
Awesome.
And let's see if I can grab this without knocking it over because I haven't put it back in the bag and board, but Caffeinated Hearts.
Yes, I know about that one. I love that cover.
Thank you. Yeah, and so it's a new cover for the Source Point release, but it's still Stefano Cardicelli. So we gave them a different cover, but while it's still keeping
like it looks very similar, but that would make sense as to why.
It's slightly different.
Really, a little bit. Yeah. I was like,
There we
it's definitely
go.
the same artist.
Exhibit A.
Yep.
Exhibit B.
So, like, when are we getting the coffee mug release?
Oh man, that would be so cool.
When is that merch coming?
I would definitely do a coffee mug as long as I don't have to do the fulfillment for a coffee mug.
Fair, you don't want to ship that. I get that. I feel that.
If only I'll say it's great. Source Point Press picked it up, but if Scout had been doing it, because they always like put out all those merch things in the store, I think they have coffee mugs.
Yeah, there's Recount coffee mugs. I need to get on them about the Space Cadet coffee mug, there's Recount shoes. You can get yourself a pair of Recount shoes. All right.
What?
Yes.
Yep.
Through their website. I have a pair, and I recommend if you order them 2 sizes larger than you actually
kind of dope.
need.
I'm not gonna lie. That's pretty badass.
I forget where they put that in here.
A few of their titles actually have shoes.
That's wild.
Towards the end of it.
I never would have even thought to look for that.
I forget where it is. It's under like titles, and then
it's somewhere. I think each title, if you scroll through the merch on the ones that have the shoes will pop up.
Huh.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm gonna show them off. Here they are.
Yeah.
Wild. Those are dope.
So there's what the picture doesn't show you is those are the outside, but the inside, the other side of it. Can you see it in this? There you go. It's actually an interior page. You can kind of see it right there.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, that is.
It really doesn't show you.
I might need to drop some money when my sales money comes in.
But remember, if you wear a 9, order an 11.
Interesting.
2 sizes larger. I wear an 11. I ordered an 11, and they fit like a 9. So
looks like maybe measure your foot. Do this.
Just go bigger, because now the shoes I ordered are just a table display now, just to get people.
Display.
Yep. I'm at a con or signing people like, oh, cool shoe, and then I get to talk. Oh, okay. Well, let me tell you more about Recount.
Yeah, they got the run smaller than usual.
Yes.
But how much smaller is always the question.
Oh, there's by the horn shoes. Hell yeah. Stabbity Bunny. Ooh.
Man.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah, wow, the Shepherd logo on there looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
So clean.
Ranger Stranger. Now, if only these had the cover design on them. Have you seen that, Jonathan?
Yeah.
Looking at the face, and then that cover.
Spooky.
I was curious what they had on interior on that. It's probably just the logo. Well, that's
hard
awesome.
to see. Yeah.
I didn't even realize they had the shoes as an option. I knew they had a lot of cool merch.
Right.
But yeah,
you spend way too much time on their website later.
Man, that's what I should have been picking up during their 50% off sale.
Yeah.
The more you know.
The more you know.
Just drop that for the chat if they want to go get some Recount shoes.
Yes.
That's awesome. So Quicksand coming up next year.
Yeah.
Any other projects in the work that you can or can't talk about?
Well, I should have mentioned this earlier. I got something coming out on September 14th. So next week, is that next week? Yeah, next week.
Mad Cave.
Yes, I'm part of that Lower Your Sights anthology, which raises awareness, and the proceeds go to a foundation called Voices of Children. I hope I got that right, but they send like art supplies and things like that to the kids in Ukraine right now.
That's awesome.
So I have a 6-page story in that anthology with a ton of other great creators. I worked with Gabriel Ibarra Nunez, who was the artist on Recount, and my story is called No Time to Grieve, and it's loosely based off of my experience when I was in the Army. So, I'm in the fine print. This is like the I like to describe this image right here as those festival concerts.
I was just thinking that.
Yeah, I'm the band that you never heard of, and above there is like 9 Inch Nails and Metallica and things like that. There you go.
Like, keep going. It won't even get any bigger. It won't zoom any further. It's in there. It's in there somewhere. Brian Hawkins is in there also.
Second row.
Oh, there you are. I see you.
Yeah.
Right Joe Pearl is in there.
Yeah.
There's a ton of great people.
Jared's been on here. Joe's been on here. You're on here. Bob France, Kevin Cuff.
I know them.
Brian's coming on here next week. So we got an all-star cast of
the whole squad.
People who we've talked to on here, or will be talking to in this book. I definitely have it on my pool. Like I said, I knew there was something I was going to forget that you were doing currently, because there is so much that you have coming out, which is awesome.
Thank you. Yeah.
You are a busy man right now.
Good problem to have,
Any cons coming up? You doing anything to end the year?
A couple of small things. This weekend I'm going to be at Daytona Con. The following weekend I'm going to be at Ancient City Con in St. Augustine, Florida, and then
St. Augustine.
I'm going to be in a small. October. I'm going to be in Melbourne Toy and Comic Con, which is in my hometown here in Florida. Then.
Oh, you meant Australia for a moment? I was like,
no.
What?
No, Melbourne, Florida. We're not as cool as Australia. Our toilets flush the normal way. You're here in Melbourne.
Do they? It's Florida.
Yeah,
come on now.
Florida. Yeah, that's true. Then in Cocoa Beach, I'm going to be at a new con called Krampus Con in December.
Krampus Con. That's
Krampus
awesome.
Con. So there's my brother.
Yeah.
You too.
Yeah.
What up, man?
It's funny how like the comic community is, because like we've known J2 from like all kinds of stuff, and then
for so long.
And then you joined the Comic Book Fiend Club, and like he's part of that.
Yeah,
it's all connected.
Yeah, one big happy family.
Yeah, I like the how interconnected that group of,
and all the surprise connections you don't realize that you know, and you're like, oh, I totally know them.
Yeah,
we get around.
The comic book community.
Yeah. But I wish I had more cons coming up, but yeah, I think that I'm going to be filling in that gap in the end of the year with more in-store signings between the different things I have out, and hopefully next year I'll be able to make it out to more, the Emerald Cities, the New York Comic Cons, and things like that.
I like it.
Yeah, if you're feeling like a trip to Virginia.
Yeah, I mean, I do all the Galaxy Cons. We have 2 where I live. 2 really, really small ones. There's like an Anime Con and then Tidewater Comic Con.
Okay. Yeah, I got to go to Heroes Con because they invited me this year.
Everyone went to Heroes Con. Yeah, and I passed, and I feel like a freaking dumbass.
I know.
Usually, if I get a table, if you say you have a table, Jonathan, I'll find a way to get there.
It is like the one I am shaming myself into going to next time, because literally everyone I know went to it at this point that is like a regular at my shop or like goes there, and I'm just like,
Heroes Con was awesome.
If we can't get you into my shop to do a signing, Fan Expo New Orleans in January.
Yeah, I applied for every Fan Expo for 2022. Guess how many I heard back from?
1.
Exactly 0.
Aww.
And the only reason why I went to MegaCon was because I got sponsored by someone else. So if you know anyone at Fan Expo, ask them where the love is.
I don't know what's up with that, because I feel like this last year there wasn't a lot of people at it. Like, it was their first time back, but so I don't know what. Maybe
who knows?
I don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
They're missing out.
See, maybe with some more credits after in this year, things will be able to.
It's
their loss.
Yeah. I try to stay humble.
But where's the fun in that?
I know.
And I mean, maybe we can get. Maybe they'll get you both to come.
We're a package deal. I mean,
right?
We're gonna come together, and so.
Yeah. I mean, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, Francesco, you can draw awesome pictures for you, and I can handle the money for Francesca.
Yeah,
and sell.
You just
some
stand there
book.
and you intimidate people.
Right.
Stand in line.
Yeah, exactly.
No pushing, no shoving.
She's the real talent, and I'm just the guy on the side.
No. Talented in your own ways.
Yeah, I guess.
With how busy you've been with writing and all these projects, what else? Do you still get time to read and stay up on things?
I make time to read. I don't not as often as I'd like to, but I set goals. That you have to set goals. You have to set a schedule. When I have a full-time job still outside of comics. It chews a lot of hours out of my day and a lot of headspace too. So I make time to read. Sometimes I might have to read the latest 3 issues in a row. Like I was 5 issues behind.
I'll save them up though. I'll do that intentionally.
It works better that way, especially on certain books. Like we were talking about Department of Truth earlier. I was 5 issues behind on that. I'm glad I read those 5 issues together. I was behind on Something's Killing the Children, caught up on that crossover, things like that. The event books, I don't even try to. One, I don't want to buy all the event books, and 2, they're so much better collected. So I might get a special
slowly
cover.
Destroying the comic book industry for Marvel is how they're doing all these comics and they're not actually giving it its own title. It's like, here's this thing, and you're getting issue 1 and 2, and then an issue in 6 different stories, and then a subtitled issue that's something else, but it's overtitled. You're like,
know who I feel bad for with those event books is the writers.
Mm-hmm.
All right, in the middle of this arc, we need you to fit this storyline in because it needs a tie into this thing. Make sense. Yeah, that's gotta suck.
I feel bad for the people too who are actually trying to read it but don't have those random things on their poll, and it's like, well, suck.
And I think there was an issue recently that was one of those random tie-ins that got allocated or something.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, probably.
Yep.
I think it was one of the X books.
Mm-hmm.
I was just my shop had that issue.
Yeah.
I was like,
so it has its challenges.
Events eventually become uneventful.
And it becomes really uneventful when it's every other quarter.
Yeah. It hurts the pocketbook. It's like then people are just buying comics for covers. And
the amount of people I've seen drop series just because they don't want to have to start buying all the tie-ins to these random events that are going on, and I'm like, no, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
That was actually
pretty much the end of my time reading the X-Men books. Was X of Swords maybe, or X of something.
I mean, I almost tried Harley Quinn because it was coming out literally every single week for a month and a half straight. Every week was a new Harley Quinn week leading up to the anniversary of Harley Quinn, and I'm like, I get it. I love Harley Quinn. Stop. Stop. I don't need an arc in a whole month,
Yeah.
They were doing that with Spider-Man too for a little while.
Yeah, it was every week, and I was like, I
was like, I kind of like this story, but it's too much. It's too much all at once.
No, that last arc was not worth every other week.
No.
Or the last creative team, whatever.
But we'll be picking up probably the new one where they end the Spider-Verse, supposedly.
We'll see. And then the issue 1 after that one, right?
Yeah, and then it'll be Spider-Verse is back.
Right.
Yeah, because you see, breaking that timeline is going to create a different timeline.
Exactly.
Don't you worry.
Where it's not the Spider-Verse, it's the Webverse now.
Yeah.
It's like the death of the Justice League. You're like, yeah, okay, they're not really dead.
Right.
Anyway.
But we don't have these problems in indie comics because it's
really
a whole
don't.
new world.
Yeah.
Every new story you get to create.
All right, now I'm hearing the Little Mermaid song in my head.
A whole new world.
Or no, Aladdin. Wow, shame.
I knew where you were going.
Shame. You go hide in a corner now.
Appreciate you, Rudy. But yeah, I mean, even for you, we're kind of at the hour, so we'll wrap things up here. But I just wanted to ask, for you, is it any different in creating your world when you do like a one shot versus when you know that you've got like a 5-issue series coming out?
Oh yeah, it's big difference. One shots are great, but they have their own challenge. It's like you have to tell this story and it has to have an ending. When it's multiple issues, you have to make sure you're not giving them everything in the first issue, then have a bunch of filler or a bunch of boring issues that lead up to what you think is going to be something great on in issue 4 or issue 5. So yeah, they both have their pros and cons. From a project management standpoint, I prefer the one shots because I can get something out there. That's why I have 2 one-shots in October from Source Point.
Fair.
But where I am with Dream Master and that Black Box, what's great about that is, sure, it's there's the challenge of writing, an ongoing series, but the project management aspect is taken off my plate. So,
do you know? Now you may have answered this because I was not here, but how many issues is it going to be total?
Well, the first arc's 5 issues, but I haven't been told to stop giving them scripts. So I've already written 8 issues so far. So I'm going to keep on giving them scripts until they either stop paying me or tell me to stop.
Very fair.
So yeah, my conversation with them is it's an ongoing series. Now they're not going to be able to release it. There's going to be some time between 5 and 6, or
the standard break in indie comics. Yeah,
exactly. It's hard for any artist, especially Luigi from Dream Master. His art is phenomenal. He doesn't waste space at all. There's so much detail. Yeah, if this wraparound cover tells you anything of what's inside the book. And there's been some. We've shared some preview pages online. He does an insane amount of detail. So it takes him about 2 months to do 1 issue. So that it'll catch up to us. But yeah, I definitely am working on the second arc for this one.
So you guys can be like Saga and just take really big breaks in between arcs.
Hopefully not that long.
Let's not go years.
Hopefully, not that break, but they still have a good little break in between arcs.
Yes.
Well,
yeah. Not a hiatus, but like a
right.
Yeah. Let's get 5 more issues in the can, and then
take 2 or 3 months off.
Yeah.
Come back.
Right.
Let them catch up, and then
write something else.
To go.
Once you finish that, write this.
Exactly. Well, any other closing thoughts, or where can people find you?
Yeah, I have my website, jonathanhedrickcomics.com. That's like the home base there. There's links to everything else from there. I have links to my social media. I have my own web store there. I list my signing events and news, and then I have direct links to the Scout web store if you're going there to buy, Recount shoes, things like that. So,
heck yeah.
Hello. Yeah, I appreciate you guys having me on. It's good. Hedrick.
He caught it.
Yeah.
Honestly, I always do the same thing, and I have to go, nope. Trying to find you on Instagram. I'm like, wait, no, there's no N.
Corrected it quicker than CGC or CBCS.
Yeah. They're the worst.
Time to see if EGS gets the spelling right.
Oh, buddy.
I've had things by EGS Slab. Tony over there does great. You know, he's in one town south of me.
Yeah,
we're in the same county. Yeah.
Nice.
So I see him frequently at one of the local stores. I live behind a comic book shop, Kingdom of Comics, and so
you're really
Tony
close
picks up submissions for his grading service there. And now that they have their own slab, yeah, I hope they take off and give them some real Hitchcock. What? Oh, instead of Hedrick, Hitchcock.
We'll see what else they come up.
There's an H and a K.
Yeah.
I mean, they've done Hickman, so.
Oh, God. Poor guy. I feel bad for him.
Yeah. But yeah, thanks again for coming back.
Yeah.
Excited for all the books you got coming out.
Thank you.
Definitely have to have you back when they start dropping again.
Yes, I hope so.
Yeah.
Hopefully I don't have to take my cat to the emergency vet on the same day.
I hope that too. Yeah, I hope the cat's okay.
Yeah, she's good. She had to get a little antibiotic shot. It's fine. It's just, it sounds way more dramatic than it is.
All right. Fair enough.
Just more of an inconvenience.
But thanks everyone for watching. And thanks Francesca for hanging out in the chat. I'll probably sit in one room over.
All right. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
Yeah, we'll see you next time.
All right.
Bye, guys.
Bye, everyone.